This is the murder of Dr. Thomas Burchard. Born on February 16, 1948, Dr. Thomas Kirk Burchard grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and later Virginia, where his father taught architecture at Harvard and Virginia Tech College of Architecture, respectively. After finishing medical school, he decided to specialize in child psychology and serve as a resident child psychologist at numerous hospitals and colleges nationwide. Eventually, Dr. Thomas joined the community hospital of the Monterey Peninsula in Monterey, California, where he served 40 years as a highly sought-after child psychologist. Loved ones and colleagues remember Dr. Thomas as a highly generous and kind-hearted man who loved children and loved performing magic tricks for them. Besides, he was known as a selfless individual who suddenly thought of himself and would go out of his way to help those in need. Sadly, his generosity led to the Salinas resident tragically losing his life. On March 7, 2019, the Nevada police received a 911 call from a man who reported an abandoned Mercedes Benz on a dirt road near the Lake Mead National Recreation Area. As the investigation commenced, the police discovered that the Mercedes-Benz in which Dr. Thomas' body was found belonged to Kesley Turner, a model and Instagram influencer popularly known as baddBarbie. While the 25-year-old lived in Las Vegas with her boyfriend, John Kennison, they were missing from her residence when the detectives searched for her. Not just that, they found blood that matched the victim splattered on the wall and bed frame of one of the rooms. Hence, they contacted Kelsey's mother, who revealed that the model and Dr. Thomas had known each other for several years. Not just that, the 71-year-old paid for a rental home in Salinas, where the model lived with her mother and son for a year before moving to Las Vegas. The police also spoke to Judy Arp, Dr. Thomas' girlfriend of 17 years, and she made some shocking revelation about his equation with Kelsey. According to her, the child psychologist met the model online and began helping her financially since she struggled to raise her two children. Judy stated that not only did her partner sign the model's Salinas house lease, he even paid the rent and a loan for her car. Judy believed Kelsey thoroughly exploited Dr. Thomas' kindness and that he was somewhat of a sugar daddy to her, although the latter always maintained that their relationship was non-sexual. However, things became problematic when the child psychologist's girlfriend disliked Kelsey and encouraged him to stop paying for her expenses. As a result, he decided to cut her off and stop paying her house rent. Judy alleged that Kelsey then began extorting Dr. Thomas, threatening to report him to the police for inappropriate behavior with his underage patient. Though these allegations were reportedly baseless, the 71-year-old feared going to the police and gave in to the model's demand. Eventually, Kelsey left Salinas at the end of 2018 and moved to Las Vegas with her son and boyfriend. Yet before leaving, she seemingly began having trouble with the latter. She would often contact Dr. Thomas from Las Vegas, claiming that her boyfriend abused her and that she was struggling to take care of her son financially. Naturally, her former benefactor sympathized with her, and against Judy's warning, he decided to visit the model. On March 1st, 2019, Dr. Thomas arrived at Kelsey Las Vegas home, which she shared with her son, her boyfriend, John Kennison, and two other roommates named Diana Pina and Jeremy. This was the last time Judy saw him alive, as just 6 days later he was found dead. Given Kelsey's controversial relationship with a child psychologist and his last known whereabouts, she and her roommates became primary suspects in the murder. Sensing that they had deliberately fled the scene, the police declared them wanted fugitive. Following a comprehensive search, Kelsey was arrested on March 21st from Stockton by a fugitive task force. While the model insists on her innocence, Diana surrendered herself to the police in mid-April, followed by John's arrest on April 17. All three were officially taken into custody and charged with Category A felony murder using a deadly weapon against a victim 60 years or older. In June 2019, Kesley and John refused to plead guilty, but Diana pled guilty to a lesser charge of accessory to murder and agreed to testify against the other two. During the trial, she took the stand and revealed what exactly had happened to Dr. Thomas in March 2019. Diana stated that after the 71-year-old came to check on Kesley in her Las Vegas home, trouble began the following day when roommate Jeremy's girlfriend arrived at the apartment and became friendly with him. This supposedly did not sit well with the model, and she got into an argument with her roommate's partner, accusing her of trying to snatch Dr. Thomas from her. The matter worsened when on the night of March 2nd, she discovered some explosive message on his phone. Kesley allegedly found an exchange of pornographic photos between Dr. Thomas and her mother, leading to a massive altercation between them. The model roommate further divulged that Kesley blackmailed Dr. Thomas to pay her money or she would report him to the police and the hospital authorities. Since she was angry, he locked himself in one of the rooms and slammed the door, leading to a few more heated arguments. Eventually, John broke down the door and forcefully entered the room, where he hit Dr. Thomas on the head with a baseball bat once. This single blow severely bruised his head and caused some bleeding, so he requested to go to the hospital after assuring that he would just state he was mugged. Diana testified that she and Dr. Thomas waited for John and Kesley in the car downstairs. He feared the model would kill him. When they came downstairs, they asked her to clean up the mess from the altercation before they went to the hospital. However, she soon heard Kesley shouting outside, repeatedly ordering her boyfriend to knock out Dr. Thomas with the baseball bat. Fearing the worst, Diana rushed out, only to witness a nightmarish scene. John stood with a gun in his hands and blood splattered all over his clothes. To her horror, she discovered that he had bludgeoned Dr. Thomas to death. Kesley then instructed a crying Diana to clean up the scene, and she complied. The woman stayed the night at the latter boyfriend home with the model's young son. Kesley, Diana, and John bounced between motels and friends' houses for the next few days before going to California, where the model was soon arrested. Following Diana's incriminating testimony, John Kensington accepted a plea deal in July 22 and pled guilty to second-degree murder and conspiracy. He was sentenced to 18 to 45 years in prison. While Diana was released in 2019 after pleading guilty, she was given probation not to exceed 3 years in January 2023. On the other hand, Kesley Turner also accepted a guilty plea and a negotiated sentence in November 2022. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 10 to 25 years in prison in January 2023. Kesley is incarcerated at the Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center in Las Vegas. Furthermore, John is serving his prison sentence at the High Desert State Prison near Indiana Springs. It is said that Dr. Burchard spent over $500,000 on Kesley during the time that he was in a relationship with her. He also was stated as saying that he now knows what an addict feel like because he was addicted to Kesley. Our prayers and thought goes out to the family and the colleagues of Dr. Thomas Kirk Burchard. May he rest in peace. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch up with you later in the comment section.